I'm Marie Hampton. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm a very happy and proud Life Vantage distributor. What a gift we have to give to the world. So you know what? Today's our first call. We're just going to do a half an hour of testimonials on a Friday. Anyone is welcome to join in. We're going to record this, but we have such a gift. We want to share it with the world. And when you help enough people get what they want, we get what we want. Life Vantage rewards us. But also when you work it with honesty and intention out there to make a difference, the universe rewards us also. And it's just been such a joy for me so far. So as you go into your journey, you just meet the most fabulous people, whether you're helping them or they're helping us. And I met Adam in Omaha, goodness, a good few years ago, he and his wife. And I just, when you meet Adam in person, he's just someone you want to know. He's just got the kindest of hearts, best of intentions, and we've stayed in touch all these years. And he was the first person I thought of to invite on our call today. So Adam, I'm just going to let you have the half an hour. We'd love to hear your story. You know, you've built a huge distribution network around the world. We know that you were a rock star traveling the world in a rock band before you were introduced to this. So we just love you to share your story. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Mari. I remember meeting you and Avetta back, I can't even remember how long ago it was, maybe 5-6 years ago in Omaha. And then we've hung out at multiple events at the Life events, the Elite Academies. And it's just been such a wonderful treat meeting people like you guys and getting to experience, you know, what that part of Life Vantage and also, you know, building the business. Now, mind you, Mari and I are not on the same team, but we are on the same team really through Life Vantage because Life Vantage is a huge family. And there are parts of the compensation plan that encourage us to work with one another, even though we are not on exactly the so it's joy being a part. Oh, I'm getting some interference. Is everybody got their phone muted? Okay. All right, good. So to tell you, you know, a quick bit of my story, I actually didn't get involved in this first as far as my my relationship to my wife goes. My wife got involved in this first. It was August of 2010. I was just coming home from a band tour in Europe with a woman named Melissa Oftemauer. She played bass in a band called Hole for those grunge fans out there. And she, you know, I came home from a long tour. I was exhausted and she's trying to hit me up with a video. And I'm saying, no, I don't want to see this video. I really don't want to hear about, you know, anything right now. Let's just, you know, relax. And she's just, you know, dead set excited about sharing this information with me. So I gave in and she said, you know, I'm really excited about the science behind this product. You know, this is something that my mom was looking for before she died. And I wish she got to experience it. And, you know, that was perking my ears up because I knew my mother-in-law, although she was kind of crazy in my mind, she knew a lot about science and nutrition and about what was good for the human body. So I started listening to her. And I also started watching my wife do this business and people, you know, her getting to experience a different side of humanity, dealing with, you know, like prior to this, she was dealing with the loss of a business, a loss of a brother, a loss of a mother, a lot of hard times in our family's relationship. And she saw the light of day and started experiencing different things, being a part of this product, this community, and this company. So quickly, she started building business. She started running fast. And for those new distributors out there, I will say that is one of the key elements, looking back at how we built our business and how we've helped people build businesses since then, that speed kills. And killing is a good thing, meaning that, you know, speed is going to help you build your business because the more people you can turn on to this, the faster a team grows. And because our businesses and the success of our business depends on us helping other people build their businesses, the quicker that we do that and we gather the people and we share the information with everybody that we know and that everybody that those people that come on board with us know, then we can reach more people at a quicker pace, and your business builds quicker. So to give you an idea about, or an example of how that works, is that when my wife got involved, she didn't really have our daughter and myself on board, but we began to use the products. But she was sharing this with everybody that she knew, and she's a hairstylist. She talked to people every day, although she didn't really like talking to people when she came home, because she saw so many people during the day. She talked to as many people and started spreading the word about this as soon as she could, or as fast as she could. And we noticed that she built a Pro 5 business in a matter of months, without our help, without our support, of just, sharing the information and getting people excited about it, and showing, what she was excited about the business. When we jumped on board, well, my daughter and I jumped on board after, we saw about, a sizable check come in the mail, and we're like, this is real. This is not just something, that we've heard about. This is not another Amway. This is not another, company that, or another story of, oh, they took my wife's money, or they took my friend's money and never got anything out of it. I've seen people's lives change through this, and I saw people's lives change even before I jumped on board. So when I came on board, I was really excited, and hats off to my wife for, being the front person in this journey for us. But she built a Pro 7 business. After she hit Pro 5, my daughter and I jumped on board, and her business became a Pro 7 business within about, I would say, I don't know, less than a year of really working the business, and then hit Pro 8 within 15 months of really, going after it. And mind you, there was a month of lag time when she got involved and started working, because she was just trying to find her footing, making mistakes. I made mistakes of, emailing everybody that I knew. That didn't work, obviously. What really worked is sitting down on the phone or on presentations like this with people, saying, hey, this is what's got me excited, and this is my story about it. And, telling other people's stories. Like, one of the big distributors that was close to us was Skip and Jill Campbell, the Pro 10s. Well, they weren't Pro 10s yet. I think they were Pro 6s or Pro 7s when we got involved. And just sharing their story of, hey, there's a chiropractor that was embarrassed about network marketing, and now, he's thinking about leaving his practice that he not only invested $300,000 of his money into, and all of it, but all of his and his wife's time, and they're getting ready to walk away from that. And that's powerful. That made me feel more comfortable, because my wife was like, well, I'm getting ready to walk away from my hair business that I built for the past 20 years. And I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? But seeing the Campbells make that transition, it made me feel more comfortable knowing that we're not the only ones making that transition, or she wasn't the only one making that transition from a big clientele and a big paycheck every year, but she was working her eyeballs out, and she was coming home tired and and done with people. So very quick journey to Pro 8, but yet it was a lot of work. And part of that story too is that we didn't say no. We agreed that we would do what I did in the music industry, which was not saying no to anything. Taking the opportunity to do trainings, to do phone calls for people, to do things for other people's teams as a learning experience, and also as just an exposure experience of, how do these other people build this business? And and I learned a lot doing those meetings, those three-way phone calls, and I incorporated the things that I learned from those things into my team as well, where when I do a three-way phone call, it's not all about business. It's about asking people questions. It's about getting to know the person and seeing if there's a need and a fit for something like this in their lives. We don't all like to get sold to. I know I don't like to get sold to. In fact, I'm just about ready to put a no soliciting sign on my front door, which I've never done. But, it's about sharing the information. And Myri touched on a very, important thing in the intro, and that was, this is a community. This is a reality. This is something that we're a part of, and she's excited about it. I'm excited about it. the distributors that we've brought on board and the distributors that we work with, those people are excited about it, and we try to keep our excitement alive so we can continue to build and share the information. I'll share something really exciting that just happened in our lives. So, well, it started happening years ago, but my daughter, who is a Life Advantage distributor, she started when she was 16, when it was legally allowed to be, a distributor at 16. Now I believe it's 18, but she wanted a just Life Advantage distributorship for her 16th birthday, and we got to that for her. And through high school, she was paid a residual check, and she's still being paid as an adult married woman, being paid a residual check through Life Advantage. And she shared, she does a great job on social media, something that we didn't really act upon back then, when Instagram and Facebook was really trying to find the footing, and where does this fit in this whole scheme of things. But she does a great job with it. And I encourage you to check out her stuff. Myrie can share that information in her page with you guys. But she met her husband through this business, and then he became a part of our life. He's done a great job with the business. He's a rugby player, which I'm a huge rugby fan. I know Myrie's a huge rugby fan. New Zealand people, I'm sure you're all huge rugby fans. He became a rugby player for the United States team, and now he's over in Tokyo playing for the United States men's sevens team, and he'll be playing his first match on Sunday. But we're excited about that. And we're also excited about the fact that he is like a case study of a Life Advantage product user, and he started using the products. I think not. What was it? I think his mom got involved in Life Advantage about 8-9 years ago, and he started playing rugby about 8-9 years ago. And so he's had Protandim in his body from the start of when he started taking rugby seriously. And now he's in the Olympics, and as as a highly scrutinized and tested person, athlete, they have to follow very strict guidelines as the United States Olympic and elite athlete. So they're tested all of the time, and it makes us feel very comfortable, not only hearing when we first got involved that Protandim was part of was approved by the Banned Substance Control Group, that is holding water through our son-in-law's career. So when now we know firsthand that if we tell people that these products are approved by the Banned Substance Control Group, and Olympic athletes are allowed to take those products that are approved by the Banned Substance Control Group, then in fact they are, because our son-in-law is taking those products. And it feels, it's amazing. It just makes us feel, so comfortable sharing those stories and sharing that information. But I don't know, how am I doing on time? I know I talk crazy and I never pay attention to the time.
Keep
doing
talking.
Good?
Keep talking.
All right. So one of the biggest things that had helped us in this business was really diving in and believing in what was going on. I had no business helping my wife out at the beginning because I didn't believe in this, and neither did our daughter. And our belief was built through seeing an old bulldog that we had at the time start taking Protandim and seeing how that changed her daily life, to seeing how it changed the experience in the business, and the products changed my wife's life, and how she started, talking to people and really, turning her heart over to the possibility of having a life without, any more trauma involved in her life. And also, I used to race motorcycles. I started racing when I was 30. I raced until I was 40 years old. I started out in the novice class here in Colorado. I got up to competing in the professional class within Colorado. And right about at the time that I was getting ready to ride in the pro class, I started taking Protandim. And what I noticed was that it was allowing me to run, longer practice time. So instead of running 5 laps, per session on a weekend, which I do, 4 or 5 sessions, but I do, 4 laps at a time prior to taking Protandim. And then, I noticed that my laps were increasing. My endurance was increasing. My friends noticed and my racer friends noticed that I was staying out for longer, and that perked their ears up, and they said, well, what are you doing different? Because you're becoming a better rider, you're becoming faster, and you're outlasting everybody out there. And I just said, hey, I'm taking Pro Tandem. It's this thing that my wife told me about, and here's a video if you want to know more about it. And that was the ABC primetime piece. And if they were more interested, well, then I got them on a three-way phone call with someone that I formed a relationship with on my team. And that was usually, I did a lot of three-way phone calls with my wife. I did a lot of phone calls with Cassie Teal, who's in South Dakota. She's on our team. I did a lot of phone calls with Greg Deeker. Skip Campbell helped me out with a couple of phone calls. And then I just had new distributors help me out too, just to get them exposed, and get them involved into, sharing the information. Because this is like a practice thing. It's just like racing motorcycles. It's just like playing the guitar. It's just, like I was talking to Justin Rose last night from Life Vantage Corporate, and he's like, it's kind of like going to church. Like if you're not going to church all the time, well, then you're probably not you're not savvy to what's going on within the church. There may be some new members that you haven't met, and that you don't know their stories. You're not in practice of just going through the regular regimen of what your faith delivers you. So this is a practice business. If someone asks you to do something and to do a three-way phone call, even if you don't know anything about it, just do it, because you're going to learn something. The three-way phone calls is probably the biggest tool that I use to build a business. But that was after the exposure, the initial exposure. See if there's something in the air that's important to this person, that where our products or our opportunity or both can fit into that person's life. Because then you're not just like cold calling a person and coming across as a salesperson. And like I said before, no one likes to get sold to, but everybody likes to hear about something that someone's passionate about. I look at Instagram all the time, and Facebook, and now TikTok, because my daughter and my son-in-law are heavily in, they have a big following on TikTok. And it's just interesting. Like I didn't really know. My daughter and my son-in-law were like, hey, do a video on TikTok. I wonder what will happen, And I said, well, what subject matter should it be? And they're like, you just pick. And they're like, don't do Life Vantage products, don't do a Life Vantage story, like just do something completely random, Adam. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do a video on how to save money on your internet service provider by buying your own modem. So I just did a silly little video, when we went out and bought our own cable modem and router. And I mean, most people know that they can save money, but it's weird that most people don't really come back to that and actually act on it, kind of like a Life Vantage opportunity or a network marketing opportunity. But I put that video up, and it has over 400,000 views. And it's just like, I must have struck a nerve with someone and hit something, kind of like when we started doing this business. I struck a nerve with people, and they wanted to know, what I had to say. And I never thought in a million years that anyone would care what I had to say, but they do if you have something to deliver that's value to them. So if you can change their life, people will listen all day long. If you're talking about something that's just changed your life, and that it's all good for you, well, then no one cares. So if you can find a story or something like that that's going to bring value to somebody, I just proved to myself that it works, that people want to listen, people are going to hear, and they're going to share it. And oddly enough, that's exactly how this business works, is that we hear about something, we buy into it, or our belief buys into it, we start talking about it, so and so hears about it and gets excited about it too, and then they open their big mouth about it, and then all of a sudden you have all these people in your business that are doing the same things that you're doing, and you're making a bunch of money, and they're making a bunch of money, and all of your lives are changing, all together at once. And it's a beautiful, dance of the way that I think all businesses should run.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's just no comparison to go to school and get a job, is there? It's just completely different way to live your life, and it's a beautiful way. I mean, we've got it all what we need, and yes, you have the best upline. Thanks to Cassie T, I have my very best friend and business partner, Yvette, because Yvette, yes, she saw value in the product straight away. Boy, Adam, she was a tough one. I couldn't get her on a call. I couldn't show her anything, nothing. And Cassie was coming to town. And I messaged her and I said, Yvette, I think you'd really appreciate Cassie, what she's got to say. And she says, no, I've had a serious day. I don't want to listen to anything serious. And I didn't think. I just texted her right back and I said, you better get serious. You've got your mother and your daughter to think about. Well, she showed up and she was like this. Oh, she was not happy. But by the end of the evening, she was, yay, and joined as a distributor.
Yeah, and look at her now.
Look at her now. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yvette?
Adam, thank you. It was very good. I like what you, 3 things I like about speed. You have to be speedy, so to speak, to grow your business. I love how you share with your sports friends, your wives, right? And then you have to bring value to people, not you, but what is for them. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we will be talking again. You have a great day.
Thank you very much, Myri. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Bye.
Everybody.